Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Let's take a look at the economic calendar for today. Overnight data were mostly from Australia and China. We have Australian GDP up from 0.5 to 0.8 and the yearly GDP up from 2.1 to 2.6. So very good data from Japan. Global services PMI data from Japan. In line with the expectations, 53.8, and manufacturing PMI in China almost in line with expectations, 49 points, nevertheless still below the previous number. The non-manufacturing PMI just a slight improvement from 49.4 to 49.5 below the forecast. Services PMI and manufacturing PMI in China rating doc by the rating doc beats the expectations. Global services PMI in Russian Federation in line below the previous number, 53.1 was previous, 51.3 is now current number. We have a bunch of the data related to the services and composite PMI scheduled for release between 9:15 and 10 o'clock from the Eurozone. At 10 o'clock we got composite PMI and services PMI data from the Eurozone. 30 minutes later, composite PMI, services PMI data from the UK. Swiss National Bank press conference will take place at 10:30. Then at 11 o'clock, unemployment rate data from the Eurozone. And we switch to the US session. Plenty of the very important data are scheduled for release here. ADP Nonfarm employment change scheduled for release at 2:30. Then labor productivity from Canada is scheduled for release together with the ECB the window speech. At 3:45 we got global services and composite PMI data scheduled for release from the US. ISM non-manufacturing PMI data are scheduled for release at 4 o'clock. At 4:30 we have crude oil and cash in crude oil inventories. Bank of Canada Governor Mackem will give a speech at 4:30 as well. Retail sales and unemployment rate from Russian Federation is scheduled for release at 5 o'clock. Gemma Buba-Balz will give a speech at 6 o'clock. At 6:37 GDP monthly from the Russian Federation. Interest rate decision from Poland is scheduled for release today at 6:37. At the end of the day, at 8 o'clock we have beige book scheduled for release. Plenty of data across the Asian session, European session and US session, so please stay focused and vigilant, because it looks like we have plenty of data hitting the wires and different market reactions coming after this. Now, without any further ado, let's switch to the charts and we start with euro dollar. Euro dollar, as expected, tested the level of 1.1515, local low 1.1545, sorry, local low 1.1531. Very nice hammer-ish candle on 4-hour time frame chart at the end of the move into the extremely oversold conditions. Time for a bounce, and look at this, we got this movement here, breakout to the upside, and then that part of the movement was not ABC, and it went way lower. So now still the weakness from the euro is being seen across the board, and the of course strengthening of the US dollar for the very known reasons. British pound hits the level of 1.3252. This is of course the technical support right now. This technical support is from the you can see it here, from the December last year. Nevertheless, we hit the extremely oversold conditions. Now the question is whether we will use this to move higher. Next target is 1.3435 for the bulls. The question is whether the market will get there anytime soon. For now, the reaction is very small, and it looks like the upside is quite limited for the British pound. US dollar versus the Japanese yen hits the level of 157.96 as the extremely overbought conditions are right now present on the 4-hour time frame chart, and pulls back a little bit towards 157.19. Nevertheless, it still holds the line. It's still very, very high, and it continues to print higher highs and higher lows. So the bulls are in charge of this market, as you can see, even for the momentum. And the next target for this market is 159.50. This is the target. Nothing changes here, as we spoke about last day. Gold went down for quite some nice percent. Local low below $5,000, $4,995. So all of those of you who bought on hype now are a little bit below with the profits. Let me just find this price range tool. There you go, how much we went down from the highs to the lows. There you go, 8% almost, minus 7.80% down. We went within the last 48 hours. A little bit of a bounce above the 100 PS moving average. I guess the 100 PS moving average was the target for this kind of a movement, but nevertheless 4,518 will now be technical resistance, and the 5,249 will be technical resistance for now. So it doesn't actually looks like the market is getting somewhere. We went from the extremely overbought conditions down to extremely oversold within the 24 hours or less. S&P 500 tested the technical support at 6,720, so this is our range low. So you can see, there you go, this is the first touch, second and the third touch. So it looks like the market might want to test it again. The bounce was very shallow. We hit only 6,838. Momentum is still negative. We actually didn't hit the level of extremely oversold conditions. We didn't hit the level on 30 on the RSI, so there is still a possibility that the market will do it sooner or later. Crude oil keeps moving higher. Recent high is $77.97, almost $78 per barrel. This is quite obvious situation here for the crude oil, during taking into the account the geopolitical situation, as we expected. Look at this, we got this trend line here that we spoke about. This is long-term trend line. We broke above this trend line, gap up, tested it, and now the market keeps moving higher. The first obvious technical resistance has been hit. So this is the high from the June last year, 2025. It looks like it's extremely overstretched, but it's not a surprise, to be honest. And the crude oil keeps going higher. So this trend line here, we can even draw it from this high, 2023. Again, we can even draw it from the 2023 high. Look at this, and it will be still perfectly good. So it's 3-year-old trend line. This trend line has been violated, and the market is ready to hit the level of this is like, I remember it was 80, yes, 80.76, and then all of the swing highs, 84.51, 87.63, and of course this level at 93.07. Nevertheless, every time we hit the extremely overbought conditions, like here, like on this high, sooner or later we went down. At least I think it's let me just take a look, at least 20% straight on. So for example, in 2024 we went down 15%, 17%, there you go, and so on. So please keep an eye on the current situation on crude oil. We might go down anytime soon. And the Bitcoin apparently doesn't do much. It tries to, the bulls are trying to bounce on the 100 PS moving average. The momentum is quite good, 56 points. It's still positive, but it's not strong. Nevertheless, it's very, very close to the level of 70,000. So any movement to the upside, breakout above $70,000 will directly put the known supply zone for a test. So breakout above 72,000 is bullish. So you can see here that the bulls are still trying. They are trying to move higher. They are trying to move higher, and the bulls might be in charge of the market these days, because we went the last price range, we went measurement, we went from the swing high at 126,000 down towards this low. Look at this, 52%, right? So this is the half price area for a Bitcoin. So if you generally see the half price mark in the shopping mall, what do? You just answer this question for yourself. So please prepare for a breakout on a Bitcoin. This is what it looks like. At least this is what the technical analysis is showing right now. It failed many times, but it doesn't actually produce this failure. It doesn't produce any new low. That's a very, very interesting thing, and sooner or later bulls will hit the supply zone yet again. That's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.